today we are here at Philbrook Museum of Art out in their beautiful gardens out back. And joining me is Director of Horticulture, Sheila Kanotz. Sheila, I mean, you offered to take me out to your garden. I didn't know I was going to need a new wardrobe.
Yeah, well, we are here in the swimming pool. So when the Phillips family lived here in the 20s and 30s, this was their swimming pool.
And this was their swimsuit?
I don't know. It might have looked a little bit like this 100 years ago.
So tell me, this used to be a swimming pool when they lived here.
Correct, yeah. And so when it became a museum in the 30s, then we backfilled it.
Okay.
And so we've turned it into this reflecting pool, really. And so when you're on the terrace of our villa, you get a perfect reflection of the Tempietto. And when you're at the Tempietto, you get a perfect reflection of the villa. So we dye it with a black dye, and that helps to get that reflection as well as to protect our koi, which are in here.
So is it a natural dye that you use, or what are you using?
It is a vegetable-based dye, yeah.
Okay. Sometimes the plants are beautiful in that reflection, but you're kind of keeping them to the side intentionally?
Yeah, so we don't have any kind of floating containers that we use for our water plants. We just have these aquatic beds on the side, so that allows us to maintain that reflection while also really getting to enjoy the beauty of aquatic plants.
All right, well, we got one of these beds here in front of us, and it looks like your water level's a little bit low.
It is low. We're doing some construction right now, and so we have the water levels lowered, and so it's a great time for us to be able to get in here and not, you know, be up higher with the water over us.
Well, I'm happy to help you work here. So we've got some hardy water lilies. Tell me a little bit about some of the maintenance. It's not too much, right?
No, overall, aquatic plants are fairly low maintenance, and it's always kind of fun to get in the water.
This is my kind of gardening in July.
Right, yes. This is Texas Dawn, so it is one of our hardy water lilies that Peyton picked out last year, and so we did a mixture of tropical and hardy. But as far as the maintenance is concerned, we really just get out kind of a curved pocket knife, and we'll cut off the yellowing leaves, the older leaves, and then when the flowers are spent, because the flowers last about 3 to 5 days. And so then we'll just remove them after that. So just kind of how you would your plants in your regular garden beds, we want to keep deadheading them to keep them you know, creating more blooms and stay healthy.
And of course, in a regular garden, you're not too concerned about some of that organic matter that falls down to the ground. But in the water garden, you want to be a little more cautious of that, right?
Right, yeah. So we do try to capture all of that and get it out of the pool so it's not building up sediment in the bottom here. And that also is just, you know, makes it worse for the oxygen levels that are available for the koi. So we actually drain this entire pool once a year, power wash it, get all that fish gunk cleaned out of here, and then refill it.
Okay, and so you guys have koi in here and a lot of babies as well. Baby koi, so quite the population to maintain. Tell me a little bit about koi versus goldfish, because they bring a whole other level.
Right. Yeah, the koi are beautiful and everybody loves them. We do a fish feeding once a week on Thursday mornings, but they are larger and they like to spawn in the side beds, and so between that and them just kind of going through and they'll nibble on the plants, they do cause a lot more destruction than say a goldfish would. So we do deal with that, but we have several different wildlife in here, and so it's kind of like, you know, we want to have the flowers and we want to have the koi.
I know,
so we make it work.
Just earlier, a snake swam by, a little baby, it's fine, and some baby turtles also. So it brings a whole different ecology into a garden.
Right, and definitely, like the dye helps us to protect the koi from predators like the great blue heron. But you'll see we have different kinds of birds that come through here. We have the red-eared sliders. We end up with a plain-bellied water snake, which love them or hate them, right? You know, it is a little bit of a non-starter for some, but yes, exactly, non-venomous, part of our ecosystem here as well, and we get toads as well, so we'll hear those in the spring especially.
All right, well, one of the things that I think is sometimes tricky is when you have a water garden, regardless of the size of it, is how to make it fit into the surrounding landscape. And I think you guys have done a phenomenal job here. Let's talk about that transition of plant material when you go from a water lily that's low to the surrounding gardens.
Thank you, yeah. So some of the things that we try to make that kind of transition into our garden beds are through either the color or the flower forms and textures. And so we end up with a lot of what are kind of marginal water plants in our garden beds in the back that could actually probably stand to be in these aquatic beds as well. They can stand some submerged water. So we have iris and we have hardy hibiscus like the copper king, which is one of my favorites that we have a lot of. And then we have things in our beds that could also stand to be albit like the thalia, also known as hardy water canna and canna. So yeah, we kind of...
And so a lot of those can grow. They like their feet in the water, and so you can use them outside. Sometimes we have a little wet area outside of our water garden because our fountain is splashing or something like that, right? Or if you don't have a water garden, they're a great use in some of those drippy faucet areas or something.
Exactly. Yeah, and all of these pretty well are full sun. So them can take a little bit part shade conditions.
Very good. And we talked a little bit about the ecology and the animals. These plants also play an important role in that. So the surface area is covered with the water lilies, but that vegetation that's in the ground also provides important habitat for the fish to hide, right?
Exactly, yes. It definitely protects them, and it helps us a little bit with some of the water filtration.
Well, Sheila, thank you so much for suiting up with me out here. This has been great.
Thanks, Casey. Always a pleasure.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.